This podcast contains profanity and explicit material from the outset,
which may not be suitable for children or sensitive adults.
The views expressed are made in humour and are not designed to offend.
Now sit back and enjoy.
Boys, I'm going to start this podcast with a joke.
Oh, here we go.
Go.
Okay. What do you call a gentleman that does not have any canines as pets?
What?
Douglas.
Oh my god. Why am I laughing?
Yeah!
Alright, welcome to episode 6
Of
the Three Little Pig Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. The waves are going through the roof.
With Mexican waves. Woo! See?
Yeah. All both our listeners fucking next to each other. Yeah. Gentlemen, how are you?
Ah, I'm alright.
Yeah, not too
Oh,
bad.
fucking, do you need that lifeline number? Jesus. Well, just started.
You know me, I'm always honest.
Yeah. But yeah, actually, yes. And I like that.
If I'm having a good day, I'll tell you. Which I don't
which I've never heard you say ever.
I don't remember the last time I actually said it.
Well, this episode started well, and to be honest, boys, it's going to get worse because because my topic is going to be pretty negative today.
Yeah, not dark, negative.
Both, like it's I generally try to not pick topics like this, but it came to my knowledge recently, and I was blissfully unaware.
Oh.
So I thought, it would be very
Well, as always, I'm looking forward to being educated.
somewhat.
No, oh, well, I don't know anything about what
Educated
you're talking
and
about, so-
depressed. Yeah.
I don't get depressed.
Kind of sad, like it's just a bit sad as well.
No, don't get sad either.
That makes me a sad pounder.
Just
now and then,
emotionally
we all get
flatline.
sad.
Just emotionally flatline. I think the only emotion I do feel is rage.
That's cool.
So that's the only one that sort of peaks every now and again.
So the people in our two topics.
Yeah. Well, what rage? Oh, well, at some stage, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my guy, 100%.
100.
100.
And if you don't know, there's 100, and then there's 100.
That's more than 100.
Yeah, but less than 101.
Yes.
It's the same as 100, but better.
Yeah.
There was a time in high school where we tried to create a new number between 8 and 9. Didn't work out very well.
Come on.
It was called Rumple, and it
Doesn't make any sense.
yes, it does. It's between 8 and 9. So, 8 is still 8, 9 is still 9, but Rumple's in the middle, and everything has to move up 1 to Rump, because Rumple's in place. It took us about 2 hours to try and work it out. In the end, we just didn't.
What's... don't even... No.
No, it's not, because I might be able to answer some questions.
How did you come up with the name?
We were just dicking around. We were in high school. Just
Okay,
mucking
so
around.
the name has no...
The name is immaterial, but it was just a number between 8 and 9, I think. Yeah, it was 8 and... I'm sure it was 8 and 9.
Why wouldn't you call it, Iron or Nate?
Because that's just equivalents of 8 and 9. We wanted this to be completely different.
You're throwing logic into the...
Yeah, see?
Sorry.
See, back in, if you've got questions on how it would work and the way that numbers work, it's easy. Just everything's just moved up 1. But it's still the same value, if that makes sense.
I've got a fucking headache. I'm not good at
I can't wait till we do episode Rumple. It's going to be so good.
Yes, done.
But see, it's not 8.5. It's
And it's
Rumple.
not 9.
And it's not 9. It's
Okay.
I kind of like it, like a Twilight episode. And
kind of.
we should do something, completely different.
Done.
To, just break form, break format, don't do the segments. Or
Music
just,
episode where we just sing the whole time. Musical.
Yes! Yes! A musical episode! That would be amazing! And that was a lovely can of Bullet Bourbon. The least heartburny bourbon in Australia. I can't.
Yeah. It's It's the nicest of all premixes and the least heartburny.
Least heartburning.
And yeah, I did not know that it was actually a bourbon. I thought like that was it, like this.
Yeah.
The bullet bourbon. Yeah, didn't realize. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever tried it post mix from the bottle.
Oh, and I'm gonna get some. It's only like
$45 a bottle.
yeah, 45. It's like equivalent of other spirits we drink anyway. So
You'll have to
Get some.
forgive my burps. They're quite Chinesey.
did you have Chinese food?
Yeah, I had
Oh,
Chinese
nice.
food.
So what did you have from the Chinese for your Chinese meal?
I had special fried rice, satay chicken. No, beef. Satay
satay
beef.
beef,
Sweet sour pork.
Yep.
And sweet chili chicken.
Nice.
I think that was it. A few spring rolls.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's a gimme.
Yeah. Tasty.
It was alright. It was a new one on Uber Eats.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Thought we'd give it a crack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't. Do we sponsor or are sponsored by Uber Eats in any way?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet. I
Not
like
yet.
that.
Oh.
You know what we should do? Right.
Right.
Once we get the merch made up and we get the bumper stickers, etc., we run around and just, like, every time I order Uber Eats, I'll ninja out the garage and slap a sticker on the back.
So you're going to have one car with about 14 stickers on the back of it.
Hey, I get a variety of Uber Eats drivers.
So if there's Chinese smelling burps, that was you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay.
So,
As long as it smells nice.
it should do.
Yeah.
Probably mixed,
Dave's
mixed with a bit of the wild turkey.
So also, we're also sponsored, not sponsored by Wild Turkey. It's the, it's not the least heartburny.
I don't think it's wild turkey. I think probably the most heartburny.
Oh yeah, I would not like one.
Anyway, I don't think it's so much as sponsored as probably produced is more because the alcohol produces the content
Do you know what?
for the show.
That's
Yeah,
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 that's right.
yeah. An epiphany.
An epiphany. I've never met the guy, but yeah,
I would have thought it would be more of a girl's name.
Epiphany.
Epiphany.
Epiphany Stevenson, come back here now.
Epiphany, your Uber Eats is here. But no, you're right. It does. It sounds like a name, possibly a lady's name. Epiphany.
Epiphany. Dog's
Epiphany.
name.
You don't want to say.
Nah.
You don't say I've had an epiphany.
Wow.
But
Boom.
But yeah, we were hit with some heartbreaking news this week, boys. Metallica has been cancelled. We all have some choice words
Yeah.
on the topic. For the sake of not being sued, we wish the band well.
Nah, I got some choice words for
Yeah.
James.
Yeah. James, do you want more of this? Yeah.
Give me fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go to rehab? Yeah.
Nah, seriously, wishing
Yeah.
well, and
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it's a hard time, especially like the stage they're at now, like because they're all guys now, and
yeah, man, they're all above their 50s, aren't they?
Yeah.
At least,
Late 50s.
yeah, I don't think I don't.
what's
his
the
name? I don't think
bassist?
Mike.
John
I don't think
Tru-
Trujillo's
Trujillo?
Rob Trujillo.
Yeah, that's the one.
I don't think he's
Nah.
of that caliber, but like that's like for the whole he's obviously had issues his whole life with it, and
Yeah.
it's a shame in one sense that the gig's been cancelled, but if it means they continue on, then
It's only been postponed, so
yeah.
I don't know if I can. I'll be honest, I don't know if I can be arsed rebooking.
It's all right because
Like-
it was me that did it, so
No, I know, but
I'll do it. Like it's mostly for Slipknot for me. Yeah, Slipknot. Woo.
yeah, weird.
But yeah.
It was because we all different days off to get and other stuff. And-
Yeah.
However, for our listeners, in place, we're going to have an absolute blinder of a day out. Is that
Yeah.
still on?
Yeah, we just
Yep.
need
Yeah.
to get
Good plan.
cracking on the organisation. I think I'm keen for it.
I'm definitely. I mean, I'm off. I've got the day and
same.
the day after off.
I've
so
got 4 days
Yeah,
off,
Dave?
I think, or something.
Yeah, I'm off
both days.
the Thursday and the Friday.
So yeah, let's. I mean, let's organise a night. I mean, it doesn't have to be us three. We get more.
Iceman's keen to do.
Sweet.
I think we should do a lunch thing. And my thought is, and I think I've told you guys already, we should have a Viking day.
Yeah.
We go out, like even get like the horns with the hats with the horns and shit, and
Just
be
appropriate
fucking-
some culture.
Just be dickheads. We're going to go axe throwing.
Yeah, oh yeah,
We're gonna go
there's an axe throwing thing we can do.
And then we got to find like a ye old tavern.
But it'll be Oktoberfest anyway, so there'll be like beery things, like
Steins.
big, just big beers and that. Well, most beers is big for me because I'm like little, but even regular sized beers.
Yeah.
This
Regular sized bear?
This can of Bulla Bourbon is enormous, yeah. And we won't be able to get any Bruce Willis spritzers either.
Oh, no.
But yeah, let's go. Let's do, we'll do it. We'll do something.
Yeah.
Wicked.
And we'll report back on our day of joy.
Well, it's cast afterwards. We won't be able to see ourselves blind. It'll be...
What a cast afterwards in a rock bar.
If it's like during...
So yeah, welcome to the Three Last Man. We're in the pub. It's quite noisy.
Oh, you know what though? We could extrapolate bits for the show during the day on our phones.
Yeah.
Like just
like sound clips. Yeah. Episode Rumple. We'll play Episode Rumple is going to be made up of sound clips of this day out, night out, because I'm going to make sure we make it to evening time and go to a rock bar. Because there is I know there is a rock bar on a Thursday, I believe.
Is it a Thursday?
Yeah, Thursdays.
It is, yeah.
That does karaoke, but it's rock karaoke, but it's with a band. It's bandioke.
I've always wanted to try that.
Rockioke, or whatever it's called. It was on last Thursday, so I assume it's a thing.
Yeah.
Did you get up and have a crack? Or?
No, I wasn't there. It's someone that I've got on Snapchat that was there. So it's like, it sounds... but because the place is like a rock bar anyway, I'm presuming it's going to be an ongoing thing.
Yeah. You got me pissed enough, I'd get up there.
Oh, yeah.
Give it a good crack.
I want to do the drums. Yeah.
Get out the way, you fuck.
Yeah. We're going to do half a teacher.
Just starts playing like Lamb of God.
Yeah.
Takes a leaf out of like Chris Adler's book.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Do some.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right. Dave.
I was going to say, we'll go to bandioke. You get in the drums. Yeah. I'll get in the guitar.
Yeah.
We'll play Metallica.
Which one?
Because it's the night that Metallica was going to come and play.
Yes!
You can sing it!
Yes!
Yeah!
We will request them to
let
play.
us... Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Or like Dave said, just kick him out and you guys can start.
Yeah.
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 It has to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would know... I know Metallica songs.
No, it's karaoke, so there's words.
Yeah, we got this.
Done.
Because the point is you go up and sing with the band. That's what it is. Yeah.
Done.
It's his band.
Nice.
Yeah. Right, I hope it's on. I'll check. I'll check the Facebook and that. And if it's on, we're on. Right. Master!
See, it's left there.
But I'll just go up and like be real shit on the drums to begin with. Just boom, boom, and then I go right. I get to go.
Or just do your darkness. It blew me.
See.
That's great.
Are we starting on fuckwits? You might have a plug for us.
I got a plug, which is out of the norm for me this week. I think Dave's got one as well. So, what?
What gave it away? Me going,
I got one too. All right. So this week, my plug comes from an associate of mine. Her name is Brittany George. I believe she's started a relatively new photo company. So, for all your newborn, baby, maternity, and family photography, you can contact Brittany George on 0421 060 177. She is Brittany George Photography. So, give me a jingle. Give me a jingle. You can find Brittany George Photography on social media. She's on Smile! Brittany George Photography is available on Facebook or Instagram at Brittany George Photography. Brittany George Photography. Brittany George Photography. Or you can contact her on email at brittanygeorgephotography@hotmail.com. Or alternatively, go to the website www.brittanygeorge.com.au.
That's one more time. I missed it.
That's Brittany George Photography.
Yeah.
All right.
This is a big fucking...
No, but seriously, support local businesses. Support up and support up and coming artists such as ourselves.
Absolutely.
Such as ourselves.
Yeah.
Wait, are we artists?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind
why
of,
not?
yeah. Thing is, the next time people are getting their photos taken, they can elect to have us on in the back, like the play the podcast in the background.
Yeah.
Right, you're gonna hear some funny things, so just carry on. Whoa, what the fuck happened there?
I dropped my guts.
Oh, it sounded like glass. What's up there?
The tube.
Ah, shit.
No, you pulled a me.
Yeah. What you got for us, Dave?
I have another podcast plug from the United States. So, the Time of Death podcast. It is Taylor and Douglas.
Oh, hang on. Wait, you know how I always say the combined name of the artist?
got
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Tugless.
Nice.
Like it. Douglas.
Nice.
Okay, every week they dive into another topic related to the capital punishment in the United States and around the world. Join them as they explore, rant, and call out the criminal justice system and the most controversial form of punishment in the modern day.
Controversial, like they're challenging things. Wow.
Sounds interesting.
So they've done stuff on the electric chair, lethal gas, medieval executions, which was mint.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's the kind of shit we're in. Like, not like doing it, but like learning about it.
Learn about the Judas Cradle. It's
Oh, yeah.
up on the inside,
Yeah.
split you in half.
Oh.
Ew.
Why couldn't they just kill people regularly, like back in those days? Like they were on a lot of like heroin and stuff back in medieval times, weren't they?
Yeah, they're all
You know.
Lot of
cray
opium.
cray in the worst.
Yeah, like opium. Like if you had a cold, you just went to the doctor and he gave you some opium.
It depends. I like to think that people were less inhibited. I think inhibitions were less back then. Everyone's all like, ooh, you can't do that, and ooh, let's wrap people in cotton wool. Let's go back to splitting people in half.
Okay.
Gives a fuck.
Yeah. I think it's also the executions allowed people to play out things that were going on in their head.
Oh, like Hostel, the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, so it was more of the fact of they could watch, because it used to be public executions where like you had to like queue for hours and hours and hours.
It was like
to get
3
in.
shillings to get in.
Yeah, it was a big thing. They had markets running around watching some guy get fucking strung up, or in this case, fucking Judas cradled.
Yeah.
So, once again, it is Douglas, or Taylor Douglas from the Time of Death podcast. So check them out and give them a like and share on all the normal bits and pieces. They're all over it. So, yeah.
Time of death.
Time of
Shout
Death.
out,
Nice.
Time of Day.
And I've only just clicked what the name means. That's nice.
Yeah, it's good.
That's
It's
cute.
good.
All right, Jay, I believe you have our first fuckwit of the week.
I do. And it's fuckwits of the week again. Because, right, bank machines, ATMs, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So, he's laughing already.
Sorry.
Do you know what it is?
No, it's just that... no, I probably can't.
Oh, no, I'm not saying bank machines are fuckwits. Bank machines
it's
are good guys.
There was like a thing running around at work the other week, and someone's like, hey, if I said ATM to you, what do you think it means? And my first response was,
That's the trout.
Yeah.
what you would think it would be.
Yeah.
Automatic teller machine.
Yeah.
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 It's a South Park episode where they talk
it?
about that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that must be- yeah.
Best do trout.
Best two trout.
Anyway, bank machines, they give you money when you're drunk.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
good, right? However, sometimes when you go to the bank or at certain like bank machine locations, there's like 2 machines right next to each other.
Yes.
Now, this is up for debate and discussion. Mm-hmm. When you got 2 machines and they're working, and there's 2 people at them,
Yes.
you queue, you want to be the next one to get to the machine to get money out.
Yes.
So, what is correct? 1 queue for both machines, or each machine has its own individual queue?
1 queue, 2 machines.
Dave?
It depends. If you've walked into an already scenario where there's already 2 queues, 1 queue, 1 machine, is it 1 per machine?
Yep.
Or alternatively, if it's single file and to split off to both machines,
You get,
so bad. It'll be a
You stick to what's there.
yeah.
Okay. Well, this fuckwit. I went into a bank. It was in Scotland, actually. Went to the bank to get money out because it was raining outside and I wasn't standing in the rain. And walked up, 2 machines in the bank, and 2 people at them. Oh, great. I'll stand in the middle of them to make it very obvious to the next person that whoever's free first, I will be going to there next.
Yeah.
Nah. Person walks in, out the rain, walks, and just like I was talking, turned around, and just as that person walked away, they walked in right round the outside and went right into the fucking machine.
Fucker.
Absolute fuckwit.
It's kind of your own fault for being distracted.
No, it was clearly obvious that I was in the middle.
I'm just kidding. I'm always on your side.
I was the only one there as well. So
I'm
like,
always on
but
your side.
even as the only person there, like I would still presume that person is going to be next.
Yeah.
No, this fuckwit walked right around, right up to the machine, and obviously to my like annoyance, the next machine, the person was like, well, I was going to put money in once, so it takes their transaction takes longer. Like that's fine, but that should have been me there.
Yeah.
So for that person, you know who you are because I made it vocal, I made it known. You're
And
a fuckwit.
this cast gets quite around your hometown.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
It gets around there.
yeah,
It gets around.
yeah. I hope this person hears.
Yeah, if any...
People
yeah,
where
if
I'm
anyone
from,
knows who he is...
who they are,
Who them is...
them, they,
Them,
I.
they, I, it's, Zai.
Yeah.
Nice.
Punch him right in the fucking face.
right in the lady penis. It was a lady.
Oh, a lady.
Oh, how rude. Just not follow queue etiquette.
Controversial.
It's queue etiquette. It's simple. Again, most of my weekly fucklists are just queue etiquette things. They're just in different life scenarios. Just
I think
in the
that
car.
spawned from me.
Yeah. In
some
the
of my-
restaurant.
Some of my mates said, all you talk about is queue etiquette.
Yeah.
And now it's just,
Yeah,
it's a thing.
Do these people not know we've been sanctioned by the government to enforce queue etiquette?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, the FBI are here again.
And this podcast is sponsored to you by the FBI.
This podcast is sponsored by queue etiquette.
It should be an app that lets you
You're
know,
next.
that lets you know when you fucked up
Yeah.
in queue etiquette. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Warning.
You are being a fuckwit.
Jump the line, you prick.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
All right, my fuckwit of the week. I actually meant to bring this up last episode, but for some reason I forgot. All right, so I got Uber Eats. Oh, you're talking Uber Eats seems to be a hot topic tonight.
Yeah,
Hot
Uber Eats.
topic.
Anyway,
Hot topic.
I got Uber Eats McDonald's for breakfast with the family and shit.
Yeah.
And the local one near us
Yep.
always fuck shit up. They always get something wrong when you order it, or especially with Uber. More Uber so lately. Anyway, so we didn't get an entire muffin, I think it was a sausage and egg muffin.
Right. So
We didn't-
it's quite an important part of the meal. Yeah.
It was my breakfast.
Oh,
All right, so
oh my God.
they missed out on my muffin. So usually I just leave it. I'm like, whatever. But I had enough, so I rung them.
Oh, we haven't.
Hell hath rained down upon Macca's.
Now, first of all, the manager, a lady, answered, didn't say her name, which is, to me is, if you answer the phone, hello, this is McDonald's, Tiffany speaking, or whatever her name was.
Well, some places don't. Like, sometimes it's just a general query that doesn't require names. I get it.
Being a manager of an establishment, I'd answer with my name. Anyway, so that was my first gripe. So I proceeded to tell her what was wrong, and I gave her the receipt number and all that sort of stuff. Now, my second gripe is that she doesn't put me on hold. So I hear her talking to the staff, right, about who packed the bag, right? So she's like, hey, so-and-so, did you pack this bag? Did you put the muffin in there? And I can hear the other staff member go, oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Right? That's how it went.
Well, he's on the fucking phone complaining, the dick.
Yeah. So she comes back on the phone, all right, and I think she doesn't know that I just heard the conversation that happened. So, yeah, not putting me on hold, second gripe.
Oh, no, that's just a schoolboy error.
Yeah.
Rookie.
So she comes back, and she goes, all right, look, so what I can do for you is write your name in the book, and then you can come down and pick up a free muffin. And I'm like, and this is where I lost my shit. Because, no, I was diplomatic, and I was nice enough. I didn't yell or swear until later.
Until then.
But I said, look, I hate to be a pain, but why would I want to come down and pick it up? I just ordered Uber Eats. Like, that's the whole point of me not coming down there. Can you send it out? Oh, no, we don't do that. And then she said, what'd she say? I said something like, I whinged a bit more about that's not what I wanted and you guys get stuff all wrong all the time sort of thing. And then she says to me, I'm quoting here from what I can remember, so I'm paraphrasing, but it's going to be close. Anyway, she goes, look, like that's the first, she goes,
oh no.
She goes, look, I spoke to my staff and they told me that they packed it. And then this, it just gets worse. So this is what I responded with. I said, so what? You're calling me a liar? I said, you think I would fucking ring up on a Sunday morning and whinge about one muffin that's missing, like it's like $3 something? You think I've got the time to waste talking to you about this? But like, and I went on a tangent.
And this is why the government is.
But like, where has the old retail thing of the customer's always right gone? She basically fucking inferred that I was a liar over a fucking $3.50 muffin. It pissed me right off. And for that reason, she is a fuckwit.
Hey.
Do you feel better you got it out? Because I would feel better if I got that out.
I was just going to say, because we ordered Uber Eats that morning too, and we got a free sausage and ring muffin. It was great. The guy this was in the car. Do you want this? Wait, what would you do if your Uber Eats driver like came with a completely different meal from a different area? Like he's obviously so you've ordered like Domino's. Oh wait, no, something right. So you've ordered food from a completely different place.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, this was in my car and it's like a Big Mac. Would you take it?"
If my food wasn't there, yeah.
No, but if he gave you your food plus like, oh, this fell out the last person's bag, would you take it?
No.
It was like it was an opened like
No.
Would you like this Big Mac?
I got me the Big Mac in the back of my car.
I've removed the sauce with my tongue.
And added my own. Look, to be fair, I felt a little bit bad because she played the whole, you don't need to yell and swear at me, sir. But fucking... yeah. I don't need to take this abuse.
But like, I wonder how many people they have for and like just trying shit like that just to get, because there will be people that do that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, there would be.
And get free stuff.
There would be.
You know?
I just don't like being called a liar.
Fair bloody enough, man.
Inferred. She didn't call me a liar, but she inferred I was a liar.
I'm gonna start Uber Eats and like McMuffins to your house. Just like 3 in the morning, the guy's banging on the door.
I just hope she doesn't listen to the cast because it was a pretty memorable conversation.
I'll never listen to that podcast again.
My one is, the Hanson's stars barely hurt in horror crash.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, which all of them?
They bopped in front of a car. Bop.
Bop, I think my car crashed. Boom.
Oh, he's got a broken collarbone, 3 broken ribs, and a partridge, and a cracked scapula.
A cracked what?
Scapula.
What's that? Chest. Or like kind of collarbone-y.
Collarbone.
Yeah.
Yesterday used to have a real nice car.
Wait.
We crashed. It's not very nice anymore.
Isn't your scapula your shoulder blade?
Oh, up there, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a...
I just sang a fucking really funny song. You don't even listen.
Oh, sorry.
Let me sing it again. No, you're not getting it. Listen back.
All right. My one's going to keep it pretty low-key because, as we said earlier, our topics are a bit dark, a bit heavy. So, but either way, I'm going to shout them out. From over east, a group of teenagers decide to be excessively cruel towards a rabbit. And it turns out there's a loophole where they're going to get away with it, apparently. They may not get charged for assaulting the rabbit or hitting the rabbit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, before I'm already judging before they've been heard to court, but you gentlemen are a bunch of fuckwits for being cruel towards that rabbit. I saw the video today on the news. I had to turn it off in front of my kids. It was not good.
That's horrible.
It happens too much.
Yeah.
You hear about animal cruelty all the time. It happens too much.
So
And it's part of the fucking McDonald triad as well.
It is.
yes,
They're probably little serial killer.
little fire saying
Yeah, bed wetting
bed
motherfuckers.
pissing, kicking rabbit fucks.
I hope they hear this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so do I.
Fuck them.
from a stony jail cell.
Nah, we all
But you
know.
said there was a loophole. What is the
I'm
loophole?
not sure that the RSPCA's come on the TV today and said we don't think they're going to get charged because of some loophole. They didn't go into it because they don't really want to abuse that loophole code.
Because then everyone's running about not fucking
A
rabbits.
whole lot of rabbits being
If you want to get away with animal cruelty, this is how you do it.
yeah. So that was my fuckwits of the week. Don't have any names because obviously they haven't been identified yet, but the video's there. So if you find it online, know who they are, speak to the authorities because they're fuckwits.
It's probably got something to do with them being juveniles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn youths. I fucking hate youths.
The youth.
The youth.
The youth.
The youth.
I don't like youths.
Mr. and Mrs. Thompson.
Yeah, there's like, oh yeah, let's go see that whole guy down the road. Oh yeah, what's his name? Mr. Fart Lips. You youth, go away.
Damn youth.
Oh, dear. Boys, as we said earlier, the topics are going to get a bit gory. We're going down the rabbit hole, pardon the pun, with these ones. Yeah. I mean, if you thought cruelty to a rabbit was bad, let me take you back to the 1970s.
Ooh.
Now, I actually felt the need to write a disclaimer at the start of this because that's how bad it goes.
Wow.
Or it gets. And normally I don't do topics of this caliber. And unfortunately, the next cast we do have got another one for it. So, yeah, let's keep it going. From the outset, I'm not expecting many laughs or many jokes.
Mm-hmm.
We can try and... There is a bit of history here.
Challenge accepted.
No, not once I start. Not once I start, I get into it. And do you know what? My sources are probably going to be a bit of a giveaway. Anyway, so I felt the need to write a disclaimer for this one. So, boys, I'm going to read the disclaimer and cue... Okay, once he stops doing that, we're actually going to, by the powers of technology, cue the Himalayan throat music. The following topic goes into the Civil War of Cambodia and the genocide that took place afterwards. It is meant to be an informative topic, and in no way is this to be taken as offensive or a joke towards any of the victims or the families and friends that have been affected by this in any way back then and today. Its content is somewhat historical, but very graphic, so those of a lesser disposition, you might not want to keep listening. Oh wait, no, does that not mean like that you go to the toilet a lot? Or like something, I don't know. Yeah, anyway.
Lower people?
Stop fucking up the disclaimer!
Lower people? I don't know.
No, that's shorter people. That's like my people.
My peoples.
My peeps.
The hit people. We are the hit people. Sorry.
But yeah, we'll keep that bit in, but its content is somewhat historical and very graphic, so those of a lesser disposition may not want to keep listening. I further like to apologise in advance for my pronunciation of people and places, which may not be correct.
You can barely speak English anyway.
Yeah, that's true. It's not racist at all. Okay, so my sources, as always, are Wikipedia, which is a good source of possible fake information, endgenocide.com, and also an article that's been produced by the BBC. The Cambodian Civil War. It was a civil war in Cambodia. Fought between the forces of the Communist Party of Kampuchea, which are also known as the Khmer Rouge. They were supported by North Vietnam and the Viet Cong. Now, this was against the government forces of the Kingdom of Cambodia, and after October 1970, known as the Khmer Republic, which had succeeded the kingdom. Now, both were supported by the United States and South Vietnam. The struggle was complicated by the influence and actions of the allies of the two warring sides. North Vietnamese People's Army of Vietnam, known as PAVN. Pavan. Yeah, Pavan. Their involvement was designed to protect its base areas and sanctuaries in eastern Cambodia, without which the prosecution of its military effort in South Vietnam would have been more difficult. The presence was at first tolerated by Prince Sihanouk. Sihanouk? I don't know. He was the Cambodian head of state. But domestic resistance combined with China and North Vietnam continuing to provide aid to the anti-government Khmer Rouge, alarmed Sihanouk and caused them to go to Moscow to request the Soviets rein in the behaviour of North Vietnam.
Oh, so the Ruskies going to go and...
Yeah, so he was like, oh,
He went to the Russians.
Yeah, he went to Mad Vlad and his mob and said, "Going to Giza dig out." It's probably the only joke we're going to be able to make out of this, to be honest. The deposition of Sihanouk by the Cambodian National Assembly in March 1970 followed wide-scale protests in the capital against the presence of the PAVN troops in the country. Now, this put a pro-American government in power, which was later declared as the Khmer Republic. They demanded that the PAVN leave Cambodia. The PAVN refused, and at the request of the Khmer Rouge, they promptly invaded Cambodia in force. So between March and June 1970, the North Vietnamese captured most of the northeastern third of their country in engagements with the Cambodian army. The North Vietnamese turned over some of their conquests and provided other assistance to the Khmer Rouge, thus empowering what at the time was only a small guerrilla movement. The Cambodian government hastened to expand its army to combat the North Vietnamese and the growing power of the Khmer Rouge. So the US was motivated by the desire to buy time for its withdrawal from Southeast Asia to protect its ally in South Vietnam and to prevent the spread of communism to Cambodia. So American and both South and North Vietnamese forces directly participated at one time or another in the fighting. So the US assisted the central government with the massive US aerial bombing campaigns and direct material and financial aid, while the North Vietnamese kept soldiers on the land that they'd previously occupied and occasionally engaged the Khmer Republic army in ground combat. After 5 years of savage fighting, the Republican government was defeated, and on the 17th of April 1975, the victorious Khmer Rouge proclaimed the establishment of the Democratic Kampuchea. The war caused a refugee crisis in Cambodia, with 2 million people, so more than 25% of the population, displaced from rural areas into the cities, especially Phnom Penh, which grew from about 600,000 in 1970 to an estimated population of nearly 2 million by 1975.
Whoa.
Yeah, quite a lot, quite quick.
Yeah.
Children were widely used during and after the war, often being persuaded or forced to commit atrocities. The Cambodian government estimated that more than 20% of the property in the country had been destroyed during the war, and in total, an estimated 275 to 310,000 people were killed as a result of the war.
Jesus.
The conflict was part of the Second Indochina War, which ran between 1955 and 1975. This also consumed the neighbouring kingdom of Laos, South Vietnam, and North Vietnam individually, referred to as the Laotian Civil War and the Vietnam War, respectively. The Cambodian Civil War led to the Cambodian Genocide, which is one of the bloodiest in history, which is what the main of this topic is.
Was all about, yeah.
There's just a little bit of history for you.
Holy shit.
But there's a couple of things that took place first that Chris might want to go into in the coming weeks. A couple of military operations. Ooh. Operation Menu and Operation Freedom Deal.
Yeah. Freedom is free.
So, although the US had been aware of the PAVN Viet Cong sanctuaries in Cambodia since 1966, President Johnson, so Lyndon B. Johnson, if you know your American president, had chosen not to attack them due to possible international repercussions, and his belief that Sihanouk could be convinced to alter his policies. Johnson, however, did authorise the reconnaissance teams of highly classified Military Assistance Command and the Vietnam Studies and Observations Group, SOG. So I guess that might be the kind of like secret spy forces.
SOG.
SOG. So he's authorised them to enter Cambodia and gather intelligence on base areas in 1967. However, the election of Richard Nixon in 1968 and the introduction of his policies of gradual US withdrawal from South Vietnam and the Vietnamization of conflict there changed everything. On the 18th of March 1969, on secret orders from Nixon and Henry Kissinger, the US Air Force carried out the bombing of Base Area 353 in the Fish Hoek region opposite South Vietnam's Tay Ninh province. 59 B-52 Stratofortress bombers.
59?
59 of the fuckers.
That seems a bit excessive.
This strike was the first in a series of attacks on sanctuaries that lasted until May 1970. And during Operation Menu, the Air Force conducted 3,875 sorties and dropped more than 108,000 tons of ordnance on the eastern border areas.
Holy shit.
Only 5 ranking congressional officers were informed of the bombing.
So they got the full menu then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. They got it all and they got it now.
Yeah.
In the words of Queen. Similar. Operation Freedom Deal followed Operation Menu. So under Freedom Deal from the 19th of May 1970 until August 73, the US bombing of Cambodia extended over the entire eastern half of the country. It was especially intense in the heavily populated southeastern quarter of the country, including a wide ring surrounding the largest city of Phnom Penh. In the larger areas, according to the maps of the US bombing sites, it appeared that nearly every square mile was hit by bombs.
Wow.
It's a lot of bombs.
That's a lot of bombs. Or as, Dave would say, oh shit, that's a lot of bombs, bro.
Oh, fucking
Oh, that's being racist, mister.
Sorry about that, G.
Oh.
Hold on. So the effectiveness of the US bombing on the Khmer Rouge and the death toll of the Cambodian civilians is disputed. So there's limited data, but the range of the Cambodian deaths caused by the US bombings may be between 30,000 and 150,000 Cambodian civilians and Khmer Rouge fighters.
That's a big
Yeah.
gap between 30,000 and 150.
Yeah, and they probably just didn't claim that at the time. Nah, we only killed like 30,000 guys, it's fine. And they were all soldiers. Where have we heard that before?
Oh.
Topical. Ooh. Another impact of the US bombing and the Cambodian Civil War was to destroy the homes and livelihood of many people. And this was a heavy contributor to the refugee crisis in Cambodia. So it has been argued that the US intervention in Cambodia contributed to the eventual seizure of power by the Khmer Rouge. They grew from 4,000 in number in the 1970 to 70,000 in 1975. But this has been disputed, with documents uncovered from the Soviet archives revealing that the North Vietnamese offensive in Cambodia in 1970 was launched at the explicit request of the Khmer Rouge following negotiations with Nguyen Chia. I don't know if I've pronounced that right. That's a person.
That's right.
It's also been argued that the US bombing was decisive in delaying the Khmer Rouge victory. Victory in Vietnam, which apparently is the official war history of the People's Army of Vietnam, candidly states that the communist insurgency in Cambodia had already increased from 10 guerrilla teams to several tens of thousands of fighters only 2 months after the North Vietnamese invasion in April 1970. As a direct result of the PAVN seizing 40% of the country, handing it over to the communist insurgents, and then actively supplying and training the insurgents. There was a lot of shit going on back then.
Yeah, that's mental.
A lot of shit.
Holy crap.
However, the killing caves of Nom Sampu are a Khmer Rouge execution site on the Nom Sampu, which is a hill 11 k's southwest of Battambang in western Cambodia. Now, the Khmer Rouge killed their victims on top of a cave at the rim of a daylight shaft or a ceiling hole, and then they threw the dead body into the cave. Men and women were placed in separate caves, and clothing was placed in another. There are a number of caves at Nom Sampao Hill that have traditionally served as Buddhist temples. Today there's a large glass memorial in the cave next to the skulls and bones, and a golden reclining Buddha that can be reached by a staircase. A memorial assembled from cyclone fencing and chicken wire contains human bones at the base of the stairway.
Oh.
Now this is something you can go and visit if you want. You probably don't want to.
Not now.
Yeah. I've kind of... So, I mean, this isn't really doing good for the Tourist Board of Cambodia, is it?
No.
It's a bit of a history lesson, though.
To be fair, I don't think everybody really goes to Cambodia anyway.
It's I think because it's still like quite like, oh, not sure if we should go there.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's good. There's a bit of a risk factor, so people don't really want to
No.
go. And if that was bad, this gets worse. The Cambodian genocide was carried out by the Khmer regime under the leadership of Pol Pot, and it resulted in the deaths of approximately 1.5 to 2 million people from 1975 to 1979, nearly a quarter of Cambodia's 1975 population,
Holy shit, 4 years.
which was estimated to be about 7.8 million of total population.
Yeah. Holy shit.
The Khmer Rouge wanted to turn the country into a socialist agrarian republic founded on the policies of ultra-Maoism. Now, Maoism, or the Mao Zedong thought, another term for it, is the Chinese communist variety of Marxism and Leninism even, that a guy called Mao Zedong developed for realizing a socialist revolution in the agriculture pre-industrial society of the People's Republic of China. So from the 50s until the Chinese economic reforms in the late 70s, Maoism was the political and military ideology of the Communist Party of China.
Yeah.
And of Maoist revolutionary movements throughout the world. So the philosophic difference between Maoism and Marxism-Leninism is that the peasantry are the revolutionary vanguard in the pre-industrial societies rather than the productive forces.
So the common folk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should be the ones on top.
Huh.
Yeah. In 1976, the Khmer Rouge changed the name of the country to Democratic Kampuchea. So to fulfill their goals, the Khmer Rouge emptied the cities and forced the Cambodians to relocate into labour camps in the countryside. This is where mass executions, forced labour, physical abuse, malnutrition and disease were prevalent. Approximately 20,000 people passed through a place known as the Tuol Sleng Centre, which was more commonly known as Security Prison S21. One of the 196 prisons which was operated by the Khmer Rouge. Of those 20,000 people that passed through, only 7 adults survived. Yeah.
Wow.
The prisoners were taken to the killing fields, where they were executed, often with pickaxes in order to save bullets, and they were buried in mass graves.
Fuck me.
Yeah. The abduction and indoctrination of children was widespread, and many were persuaded or forced to commit atrocities.
Jeebus.
So the genocide triggered a second outflow of refugees, many of whom escaped to neighbouring Vietnam and to a lesser extent made their way to Thailand. The Vietnamese invasion of Cambodia ended the genocide by defeating the Khmer Rouge in 1979. So the Khmer Rouge regime was extremely brutal. The regime generally singled out doctors, teachers, monks, journalists, the rich, artists, anyone with an education, anyone with ethnic or religious minorities as well. They also executed people who could no longer work or make the journey to camps. Those perceived to be in opposition to the party, whether or not this was true, as well as their families, were deemed undesirable, and so they could not be chased down for revenge. Unlike in any other genocides or conflicts, no one was immune from being branded an enemy of the state. Even if one was considered to be on the right side, that could change the next day, and many Khmer Rouge members were also killed during the purges.
Wow.
Children and babies were not exempt for their cruelty. It was often noted, and I quote, "To stop the weeds, you must also pull up their roots." Anyone affiliated with Lon Nol's regime or military was also immediately killed.
Yeah.
No evidence was needed in order to send one to prison, and people often fabricated their confessions of various crimes with the belief that this would end their torment. In reality, they were more often than not executed once they gave up a list of names of new people to arrest.
Holy shit.
So you're talking like, do you know another doctor? No. Yeah. And that was it. That's bad.
That's terrible, man. Holy shit.
So in the beginning, the executions weren't necessary. Starvation served as an effective tool to dispose of undesirable populations. But as more and more people were sent to prison, the Khmer Rouge moved over to a system of killing fields, establishing hundreds all over Cambodia. As the genocide progressed, survival was determined by one's ability to do work on the collective farms. This means that many of Cambodia's elderly, handicapped, ill, and children became targets due to their inability to undertake harsh manual labour. Money, free markets, schools, private property, foreign styles of clothing, religious practice, and other aspects of traditional Khmer culture were completely abolished, and buildings such as schools, pagodas, and government properties were turned into prisons. They were also turned into stables, camps, and granaries. Family relationships were also heavily criticised, and the Khmer Rouge insisted that everyone considered a term they called Anka, which translates to the organisation, which refers to the top level of the regime, as their mother and father. So child soldiers were a tool of the Khmer Rouge. They were easy to control. They would follow orders without hesitation, to the point where many were forced to shoot their own parents.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The Khmer Rouge regime was also well known for having practiced torture and medical experiments. People were imprisoned and tortured only because they were suspected of being against the regime, or because other prisoners provided their names under torture. Together with them, their whole families, including children and babies, ended up in prisons and were tortured, and this was done because they feared that their relatives would seek revenge. A sentence stated by Pol Pot again reads that if you want to kill the grass, you have to kill the roots. Most of the prisoners didn't even know why they'd been imprisoned, and if they dared to ask the guards, they used to say that the Ankar, again the Heed folk, never makes mistakes, and there was certainly something illegal that they had done. There are many accounts of torture in both S21 records and the documents of the trial, which were told by a survivor in his book. Tortures were so atrocious and heinous that the prisoners tried in every way to commit suicide, even using spoons.
Ugh.
That's
a worse way to try that.
Yeah. The hands were continuously tied behind their backs in order to prevent them from committing suicide or trying to escape. And when it was believed they could not provide further useful information, they were blindfolded and sent to the killing fields. Prisoners were killed at night with peasants' tools, such as scythes or nails with hammers.
Fuck me.
And their screams were covered with loudspeakers playing propaganda music of the Democratic Kampuchea.
Motherfuckers.
And also the noise of the generators. Now, further reading for me for this was pretty sobering, in that babies and children were also taken out to the killing fields, where they were executed. They weren't killed, they were executed. The horrific way in which this has occurred, I'm not going to verbalise, however. This information is available online if you really want to delve deep. And I do not advise it.
Deep dive.
Yeah. However, we're bringing it to a lighter note. On the 2nd of January 2001, the Cambodian government established the Khmer Rouge Tribunal to try members of the Khmer Rouge leadership responsible for the Cambodian genocide. The trials began on the 17th of February 2009, and on the 7th of August 2014, Nguyen Chia and a person called Kiu Sampan were convicted and received life sentences for crimes against humanity during the genocide.
This is in 2014.
2014.
Yeah, it's way too late for them motherfuckers.
As of 2009, the Cambodian NGO Documentation Centre of Cambodia has mapped some 23,745 mass graves containing approximately 1.3 million suspected victims of execution.
You say 23,000
745 mass graves,
fucking hell.
which contain approximately 1.3 million victims of execution.
Holy shit.
Direct execution is believed to account for roughly 60% of the death toll during the genocide, with other victims succumbing to starvation, exhaustion, or disease. And that, my friends, brings an end to this little trip into history. A very poignant piece of history that certainly doesn't have as much remembrance as other atrocities that have taken place in history.
Nah.
With less impact.
But it's also a sobering reminder of what occurred only 44 years ago.
Mm.
Wow. Thank you for that, Jay. Bloody hell.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, no.
Hang on, just...
Oh, that's because I farted.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
But
boys.
to bring it back down a smidgen, what do you call a fake noodle?
I don't know.
An imposter. Just to break the old death bit. Yeah.
Fucking Dad Jokes Anonymous.
Yeah.
Wow.
My name's Dave. I like telling dad jokes. Yeah, sorry about that one, boys. Sorry to the listeners. You survived.
Can probably start a group, Dad Jokes Anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd join that.
Yeah. And no one would know.
Hi, my name's Chris. Hi, Chris.
I'm a
I don't know.
I'm a
I
dad
can't
joke.
even
I'm a
think-
dad jokeaholic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can't even think of any dad jokes off the top of my head.
What'd you call a guy with a bird on his head? Cliff.
What you
See,
call
like
man?
that one.
What you call a man with a paper bag on his head?
I don't know.
Russell.
What's red and looks like a bucket?
I don't know.
A red bucket. What's green and looks like a bucket?
A green bucket.
No, a red bucket in disguise.
What's brown and sticky? A stick.
Oh, that's not what I was gonna say. What'd you call a lady with one leg?
What?
Eileen.
What do you call a man with 4 rabbits in his pocket?
I don't know what.
Warren.
And we have a winner! Record there.
All right, gentlemen. Fuck you guys. I'm doing my topic now.
Fuck you. Well, you normally do. You go second anyway.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad because I don't know. Yours
All
was
those
all,
people died in
yours
Cambodia.
was all fucking serious and shit.
Yeah. Well, we need something to light the mood.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. We are going to be disgusting. Disgusting? We are disgusting.
We'll be
disgusting.
disgusting most of the night.
We are going to be discussing, and this is you know how I roll. We're going to be talking about the PlayStation 5. Oh yeah! As always, my sources for this evening. Tom's Guide. You can find that at www.tomsguide.com.
Cool.
And Wikipedia. So now, lads, as I am sure you are aware, because you are gamers yourselves,
Indeed.
Yes.
that the next generation console is just over a year away. And the PS5 rumors are starting to fly around all over the place. Whee! Sony has already confirmed that the next generation console is in development. Even the specification have been leaked.
Yeah, specs.
Yeah, specs. We all love specs.
Yeah, we love specs. How fast is it going to be? How fast? This is pretty fast.
All right. So, in an interview with Wired, Sony's Mark Cerny...
Oh, that's kind of like... his last name sounds like Cerny.
It could be
Employ
Kearney.
him.
It could be Kearney, but I'm going to go with Cerny.
Cerny.
Yeah,
Cerny.
Cerny. He revealed several key specs for the next-gen console, which is yet to have an official name, but the development project has been called Prospero.
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 Oh, wait. Prospero was...
It's not the PlayStation Kevin then.
Introducing the PlayStation Kevin! And it's just a PlayStation like...
I don't know if you remember, but it must be like a development thing they do, because the Xbox One, that was their development project, was Project Scorpio.
Oh.
So that's what that was called before it was called the Xbox One. So this is called Project Prospero for the PS5.
So they give it like cool ass names.
Yeah, but when it's in development.
Yeah. Hasn't there like been a name leaked for the Xbox as well?
Scarlet. I was going to go.
Yeah, I
into
thought
that
it was
later.
like Violet or something. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
Project
sorry, yeah.
Project Scarlet is the next Xbox. So
Sweet.
now it will be powered by a CPU that is based on AMD's third generation 8-core Ryzen processor. So AMD. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But
Intel, man. Sorry.
I know. But it's got 8 cores. It's got to be
a whole 8.
a whole 8. It's got to be all right. So yeah, it's based on AMD's third generation 8-core Ryzen processor, as well as a custom GPU, which for players at home stands for graphical processing unit.
Yes,
graphics processing unit.
That's a custom GPU as
Yep.
well as.
So it's
okay.
gonna be based on the AMD Radeon Navi line.
Yeah.
The GPU's power has been leaked at 2 gigahertz, which at the moment, as it stands, will be double the power of the Xbox One X, and deliver comparable performance to the Nvidia's RTX 2080.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
On par with those.
Yeah. So you're talking consoles are really now becoming gaming PCs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and most of you tech heads out there will know what we're talking about if you have half a clue. So,
If not, it's just like really fast.
Yeah.
Like if PlayStation 4 is fast, PlayStation 5 is going to be really fast.
really, really, really fast.
Like really fast.
So, and for all you real tech heads out there, like you massive tech heads, that equates to 9.2 teraflops of processing power when using the what?
I'm sure that's a joke.
What? No, teraflops.
Teraflops.
It's 9 teraflops.
Yeah, no, 9.2 teraflops.
A triceratops. It's a dinosaur.
You know the 3-horned dinosaur? The Triceraflops.
He's really fast.
Triceraflops. Fuck you guys, man. What do you can't just let me talk about my fucking shit.
You're just listening about kids being killed in Cambodia. I'm trying to make jokes to put the mood back up.
9.2 Cambodian flops.
I got quite sad reading my topic, so I want to make it like I want to.
All right. It's basically. I'll explain what a flop is.
I'll show you.
On this episode.
Might just be more
Episode 6, the flop.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, nice.
There's a title.
Yeah.
There's a title.
Triceraflops.
Triceraflops.
Yeah. Anyway, my flop would be more like this.
Question marks. Done.
My flop would be more like.
Same.
Yeah. Snippies.
So yeah. So for all you real tech heads out there, it equates to 9.2 teraflops of processing power when using the RDNA architecture. Mm-hmm. I'll explain what all this sort of means in a minute.
Good. Clued up.
Or roughly 14 teraflops on the GCN architecture. Now, I don't know what the architectures are specifically, but when they program graphics, they use obviously different programs for building the graphics, running them, etc., etc. And so what a flop is, it's a floating point operations per second. That's the abbreviation. A flop. It's a measure of computing performance. Basically, it's how many instructions per second the GPU can handle. So, and a teraflop or a tera is 10 to the power of 12.
Yep.
So that, so it can do that many instructions per second, which means that they can do more.
A shit ton.
Yeah, a shit ton of graphical processing.
And a way to kind of visualize this for people that don't have a clue, look at when like the Xbox first came out. I know you're PlayStation, but the Xbox or the PlayStation 3 first came out. The first games that came out compared to the latest games before the transition to the new consoles, the graphics are considerably different. And that was more noticeable on like what they called the next gen consoles at the time. So like Xbox 360, the first games like when you went from like the first Assassin's Creed to the most recent one that's available on the Xbox 360, you'll notice a comparable difference because the program and the way they designed the games got better because they could utilize the power of the console more.
Yeah.
Albeit it would like
Using more flops.
Yeah. We use all the flaps.
Use all the flaps.
Yeah, we're gonna make a game and use all the flaps.
And use all the flaps. So the graphics card will also allow the PS5 to deliver ray tracing. Which is an ultra-realistic lighting technology that was first made popular by NVIDIA's RTX cards for the PC. Yeah. So, for people who don't know what ray tracing is, it's a rendering technique that creates a graphical image based on virtual light and how the lighting source would interact with virtual objects along an image plane. Ray tracing can replace traditional render of lighting effects in games and create a far more lifelike depiction of scenes that are based on how light actually interacts with the real world.
So instead of having a pre-programmed light cycling over a game, for example, where the moon hit and it'll hit something else, this is sort of it randomizes it all so it becomes more.
Yeah, I think it's
kind of live action.
More organic as opposed to computer.
Yeah, like a couple was the first games where you had 2 light options, off and on. Like, that was it.
Yeah.
You know?
Reflections off.
Yeah,
reflections on.
Yeah.
So, but now they're talking about like to giving you a basic example of it. If there was a cutscene, you would now see like refractions of light in the characters' eyeballs and shit like it's getting real. Yeah.
Wicked.
So the system's CPU will allow for even better 3D audio, which is self-explanatory.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got 3D audio now, but apparently it's going to be better.
Yeah.
The power of the PS5 will also allow for 8K resolution, which is currently capped at 4.
Yep.
So it's going to double that.
Yep.
And here's where it gets good, in my opinion. So, for the first time ever, I think it's the first time ever. You guys might know, might not know. The console would be getting an SSD or a solid state drive.
Yes,
now,
that's cool.
For those who don't know, this basically means that certain operations or tasks can be preloaded. So normally these types of things have to be loaded off the hard drive or the disk. Hence loading screens and restrictions on open worlds and stuff like that. So basically now those operations will be preloaded onto the SSD once the game boots up. So in essence, there shouldn't be, or there'll be minimal loading screens.
Yes, I can talk about that because my computer sits with an SSD. There's a very noticeable difference gaming from like when the game's drawn off an SSD to when it's drawn off a moving hard disk. So a current hard disk PS4, it's a spinning disk. There's actually a disk inside it spins. SSD solid state drive. It's very quick.
Instant. Yeah.
However, the gaming community, they're starting to move to M2 cards, like large data M2 cards, which are even quicker than SSDs. So it's coming, and it's the same with everything with computer parts. As time goes on, the parts reduce in price, and it makes it more affordable.
Of course.
When I got this computer, it was only a 128 SSD, and that was pushing the price out to get double up next. But PS4, my gamble would be a 512 SSD at least. That's PS4, PS5, the new one. That would be my gamble as to what they're probably going to aim for to get in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's so quick. It's ridiculously quick, especially to game off. I would install a game from Steam. I changed my Steam directory to the SSD just to play with it, just to see what do you think how quick it is. Oh my god, I'm in! That's how quick it is. But I had to draw them off my SSD because I've just got my operating system on that.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have the whole system coming off that's going to be ridiculously fast.
I don't think it's the whole system. I think it has a hard drive and a solid state.
Yeah.
I think. I could be wrong.
So they're really going for like gaming PC type.
Yeah. So I think the solid state is just purely going to be for certain operations, but they'll still have the hard drive for
right. So that
I think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Oh, my conservative gamble would be a 512 SSD and a 2 terabyte
hard drive.
Yeah. So let's see how it goes. If I'm right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty
cool.
cool.
And you can buy me a beer.
Yeah. There was a demonstration of this hardware, which showed a portion of Marvel's Spider-Man, which I don't know if you played it.
No,
it's a
pretty good, though.
Sweet game. Good game. Good graphics. Very fluid gameplay. So they showed a portion of Marvel's Spider-Man that normally takes about 15 seconds to load, like a blank loaded screen with a thing. They ran it off the SSD, and it took less than 1 second.
Damn.
So that's the comparable difference in load times. So this also means that the graphical rendering will be dramatically faster, which means that games will have less limitations on open worlds or the speed at which the open worlds can be traversed. So, like with, again, Marvel's Spider-Man, they were saying they had to limit the speed you could swing through the city at because the city needs to render before you go into that. But now with this new SSD, that's going to be non-existent.
Oh, shit.
So you could essentially move as fast as you wanted, sort of. There are still limitations, but
on that as well, though, when you're talking about rendering, it depends how a game's coded and the game's designed. I play on Scum, great game, and it's still in development. It's the alpha we're playing, but it's still in production. They're changing stuff and doing hot fixes all the time. But that's one game, for example, where those guys are constantly changing how the world interacts with you. So like how you interact. Now maybe this is more just like server optimization to make the game flow more, because it's it's all multiplayer. Pretty much you can play single player. That's a small aspect of the game, but the way they've designed it, they're always changing how the world renders. Such as your render distance will render, the environment or like the land, and then the buildings will come, and then something else. Like this is on a basic level. So yeah, it depends how a game's designed, like, and how they do it, and it depends how much interaction you've got with the environment as well.
Yeah.
The more interaction, the longer something's going to have to render.
Yeah.
So it's all.
And that all comes down to the teraflops again, like instructions per second, and
it's a scary animal. Triceraflops. Oh no, wait, it wasn't a bird, was it?
No,
it was a.
Triceraflops.
3-horned Triceratops.
So, as the way the trends are going these days, which I don't necessarily agree with, there's going to be a big emphasis on cloud gaming or game streaming, stream games, whatever. Everyone seems to be jumping on board, especially with the Google Stadia, which is a new system that's coming out where
they do it on Xbox as well with Game Pass.
Yeah, I know. And they release an Xbox that's diskless. I'm
not sure.
Did they?
I think they are, or they're going to.
Yeah,
they are, or they So yeah, I think it's like Anyway, but I don't agree with it here. Purely because of our internet.
Yeah.
I don't see how our internet would be fast enough to stream the games or the AAA titles that we have these days.
Nah, not at all.
I don't think it'd be fast enough. So, but Sony has confirmed that the PS5 will have a disc drive. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So most signs are pointing to a late 2020 release, as expected.
Yeah.
Around the holiday season, with a price tag of about $4.99.
That's not bad for a first time
I couldn't
release.
I couldn't work out if that was US.
It's going to have to be.
Well,
But-
what's that in our money?
Probably about 7. I don't know.
Oh, even
No, I know,
yeah,
and this is what's good because I did Google the price in Australia, and it still came up with $4.99. But I expect it to be more. Now, some people are talking that it's going to be in the $800 mark, which, if it has almost the processing power of a PC, I'm happy with that. If it's a PC in a box and it's $800, I'm happy with that. Because most of your top-end gaming PCs or reasonable gaming PCs are above $1,000.
Yeah, easy.
So I'm happy with that.
$4.99 US translates to $7.36 Australian.
Yeah. So I would probably expect somewhere around the $700 or $800 mark over here. Microsoft has already confirmed that their latest Project Scarlet is set for release in the holiday season of 2020. Now, obviously, Sony will have to compete with them.
Yeah.
So we can expect it.
Yeah.
Now, there are big games coming out the end of this year and the start of next year, like The Last of Us 2, Cyberpunk 2077, Death Stranding, Star Wars: The Fallen Order.
Yeah, there's so many big hitters.
Yeah, so these are all coming out late this year, early next, whatever, which is good because the PS5 will be backwards compatible, which is good.
Cool.
But some of the games I'm very keen to get announced on the PS5 with its capabilities are the Horizon Zero Dawn sequels, and the God of War sequels.
God of War would be meant.
That'd be
Oh
sick.
man, how graphic is that going to be? It's going to be fucking awesome.
Oh man, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So there's plenty we still don't know, but there are a few other rumors that I picked on. So it's rumored that it will have an inbuilt camera for live streaming. Don't really care.
FBI is going to keep watching us.
Yeah, I'll probably put some tape over that.
Yeah, definitely, because conspiracies
I'll
and
probably put
things.
some tape over that. A recently discovered Sony patent suggests the PS5 could have a Siri-like virtual assistant.
Cool.
So there are
PlayStation!
I have PlayStation!
I have PlayStation! Yes.
What do you want? So it's already got voice commands, but this is going to be more like
More Xbox.
It's interactive.
Because Xbox, like, you can, like
Yeah.
just walk in. Oh, I fancy playing the Xbox One. Turn on. And it just goes like,
Yeah.
hello.
You can-
yeah.
You want to play GTA?
Oh, have you seen those videos of the guys who had their usernames as like Xbox off and stuff like that? So so when people go, oh, that Xbox off killed me again, it turns their Xbox off.
Oh yeah, because the guy's like, oh, that Xbox turn off can't. Oh no, because like their screen's coming up like powering down, and they're like, oh fuck, and then they just disconnect.
It's like, I'll show you after. Yeah, it's pretty
pretty
You
funny.
can
funny.
do the one, even with a headset, you don't even, because you normally need the camera, but you can use the headset, and you can say, for example, Xbox record that, and it records 30 seconds previously for whatever you had done 30 seconds ago, online, whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
And that's what these guys are playing, like Call of Duty and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
and they just like kick each other out.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Funny. That's the type of shit I do
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. So there's another patent that's been leaked on the design for the console. It looks pretty chunky, but I'm okay with that, especially if it's got all this power.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be.
It's going to be. It's going to be a little bit
to
chunky.
it. Yeah.
Kind of looks like a small jetpack.
Cool.
Oh, that's cute.
On the pattern.
That's
On the
cute.
pattern. So it's got like a V shape with two tubes that run down the side.
And for the Scottish people, there's a tartan version. There's not.
A Mick,
Oh, no, I was just
Mick
like,
plays-
It's called the PlayStation 5.
now, this is my own rumor that I want to. Well, not a rumor, but a question.
That you're starting. You're starting the rumor.
I'm starting it. Will they make it native mouse and keyboard compatible? seems to be the thing these days.
Yeah.
I know. I'll leave you with that thought.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Chris.
Well,
We've had
well,
some...
aye.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to bring the tone of the conversation down once
Again.
more.
Once more, Jerry.
Once more, Jerry, one for the boys.
This one's for Jerry.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going
Who's
to...
Les? Les and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Lads.
Hey, lads.
That leads us perfectly on to segue into my topic about the Matamoros ritual killings.
Ooh.
Yeah. These occurred in 1989, and the one victim we do know about is a Mark Kilroy.
Oh, well, that's an unfortunate
Yeah.
last name.
He never
Or
killed. He never killed Roy.
Fortunate
Indeed.
for him.
He didn't kill Roy, though.
No.
So, Mark was a university student studying medicine at a university in Texas. And he and his 4 friends took a car ride from their respective universities in Texas to the town of Brownsville, Texas. Brownsville is on the USA-Mexico border. And the closest town in Mexico is Matamoros, which at the time had a major draw card that the drinking age was only 16.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's like I think France is like 14.
Yeah.
Like it's certain European countries is.
Well,
Like no
I went
drinking.
to because it's obviously October at the moment, so I went to a German website for a beer I was looking at,
Oh, yeah.
and it told me, please confirm whether you are 16 years of age or not entering this website. And normally when it's an adult website, they tell you it's 18. So
Oh, yeah.
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 Cool.
Cool. Fair enough.
I was buying piss when I was 14 anyway, so
Yeah.
probably on account of the beard.
Yeah, it's probably because you look like an old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, this
Sorry.
14-year-old child looks like Gandalf.
You shall not hit puberty.
So, Mark and his friends head to Brownsville for a night of drinking. They park their vehicle on the USI. Got me to USA.
The United States of infection.
I'm literally first paragraph.
He's got like 8 pages of this shit.
Okay. So Mark and his friends head to Brownsville for a night of drinking. They park their vehicle on the USA side of the border, walk through the customs and into Mexico and onto Matamoros. The group enjoyed themselves and consumed the recommended dosage before heading back home to their car and hotel for the night. Just before they reached the bridge near the border, Mark decided he needed to pee. So he stepped off the road.
He's like, sorry, both. I gotta take a piss.
Pretty fucking
I
much.
go piss.
So he stepped off the road and onto some nearby bushes while the rest of the group walked on. The group crossed the border into the US and they reached their hotel, and Mark was nowhere to be found. Dun, dun, bing.
Wait up, guys. I'm still taking a piss.
Obviously, this they woke up the next morning and Mark wasn't there. Still, and this obviously drew a lot of
That's
concern.
a long piss.
Yeah, that's a long piss.
You drank a lot of water.
Drink a lot of water. And they reported it to the local Brownsville police. 48 hours later, they reported it, as normally people would have returned after a big weekend out. I fucking hate you guys. This drew a lot of attention to the public, as well as a reward for his return, $15,000 within a couple of days of him.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quick.
He must have been well liked.
Yeah. That's quick to get a reward going.
Yeah.
And
Jesus.
the case was also featured on America's Most Wanted.
But how could he be wanted?
Missing.
Is he's America's most missing?
Yeah.
like he's not most wanted.
Wow.
Or was he? Oh, okay.
Brownsville police would normally work very closely with the Mexican federal police, but once Kilroy went missing, they closed their ranks. Brownsville police would additionally run drug enforcement operations together, and shortly after Kilroy went missing, the lead detective from Brownsville police got a call from the Mexican comandante, which is like an inspector with the police, saying that they'd found Mark. Brownsville police drove to Matamoros, where they met up with the Mexican federales at an isolated hut. There they found a male called, I'm going to butcher this, but Serafin Hernandez, who was known to them as a drug dealer. When asked whether he knew Mark, Serafin said yes. He told police he had kidnapped Mark and took him to the hut. Hernandez told police that he had been feeding Mark before he was killed. Police asked Serafin where his body was. And Hernandez replied, "Which one?"
Ooh.
What?
See.
He chopped him up with a machete.
We got live 3 marks.
Well, Hernandez told police that Mark had been there and pointed to a tin and tar paper shack on the property. Now, I want to read this from my source, which was a Rolling Stone article from 1989.
Whoa, Rolling Stone covered this.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So it was
They
written
wanted
by
the 15 grand, clearly.
it was written by Guy Garcia, called "Believers: Occult Murders in Mexico." So this is from a 1989 article from Guy Garcia in the Rolling Stone, and it says, and I quote, "But the federales were unprepared for what happened next. In what had become a routine procedure, they showed a photograph to Kilroy on the ranch to the ranch caretaker, which was Seraphin, and asked if he had seen the missing American. Yes, Kilroy had been there. The caretaker had told them, pointing to a corral and a tar paper shack on the rise about 400 metres away. As the lawmen approached the corral, they were engulfed by a sickening stench of decaying flesh.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Buried in several shallow graves in the immediate area were the remains of 12 males.
12 males.
12 males.
12 people.
12 people.
Fuck.
Including the mutilated body of Mark Kilroy. Some of the victims had been slashed with knives, others shot. At least one had been burned and another hung. Many had been severely disfigured, their hearts ripped out, their eyes, ears and testicles removed. One had been decapitated. Eventually 3 more bodies would be found in the area, bringing the total corpse count to 15.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. Inside, this is a big clincher. Inside the windowless shack, the federales were confronted with another ghastly sight. On the blood-smeared floor, amid a battery of still glowing candles, stood an iron kettle filled with iron and wooden spikes, a charred human brain, and a roasted turtle.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Wait, what?
Other urns...
Miss Scusi. What?
Yeah.
I'm going to get to it. Other urns contained grisly stew of congealed blood, human hair, and animal parts. Scattered about the room were coconut shells, cigars, and cane liquor, an iron bed frame, a heavy electrician's tape, and a blood-caked machete and a hammer.
Machete.
What the fuck were they doing in that house? These objects should not be together in any way, shape, or form.
It wasn't like a...
Like that combination of things.
Police also discovered a large oil drum that had been used to boil some of the victims. One witness described the scene as a human slaughterhouse. One of the first Americans to arrive at the site was Lieutenant George Gavito of the Cameron County Sheriff's Department, whose jurisdiction included Brownsville. And he said, and I quote, "I've been on the force 15 years and have no words to describe what I saw there." So, this is laying the picture for it. Now,
That's just the picture.
yeah. So,
Cambodia sounds like a great laugh compared to what happened here.
what happened is these gentlemen were a bunch of drug dealers. These drug dealers started practicing a thing called Palo Mayorba. And Palo Mayorba is the evil twin of Santeria. Do you know what Santeria is?
Vaguely.
It's an
old ship.
it's an old wooden ship.
It's an old ruined bit.
It's like a voodoo or Haitian African Congo type religion.
Like a Mexican equivalent sort of thing.
No, so it's been brought across. So Palo Mayorba is described as Santeria's evil twin. Palo Mayorba priest is called a palero, who uses an iron or clay pot to complete rituals. The use of animal sacrifices is commonplace.
Yep.
Yeah. When the police spoke to Serafin, the caretaker, and said who had killed these people, they had said his name was El Padrino, which in Mexican is the Godfather. His name is, excuse me, I'm going to butcher the hell out of this.
Al Pacino.
Yeah, it's Al Pacino.
It was
Al
Al Pacino.
Pacino was conducting human sacrifices in Mexico at the time.
Al Pacino, not again. Get Al Pacino's agent on the phone.
The Godfather, or El Padrino, was Adolfo de Jesus Constanzo.
Well done.
Oh,
Nice.
well done.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do you like
nice.
that? Yep. And he had fled the scene before whilst police were there.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So what they did is they couldn't find him. So the way they drew him out was they set fire to his shack and the iron pot. Now the iron pot with Palo Mayorba is very, very sacred. They took a film crew out there and they filmed them burning it. And within 2 days, they had his location.
Oh, so it's like propaganda.
Yeah.
Well, just to get this one guy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they found his location within 2 days.
It's like if someone took my PlayStation.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
So,
I'd find him
Like
pretty quick.
he wouldn't just go on his PC or laptop and just like change his PlayStation password and log it out and do it the way you can
I'd
fix
find
it.
him.
No, he would go
I'd
and find
find
them.
him.
Yeah.
Or I'd
Yeah.
let him find me, and then they'd feel the wrath.
But they know where you are because they took your PlayStation from your house.
I was trying to make Sorry.
Quit ruining shit.
Sorry.
Stop being realistic, Rick.
So it wasn't only just the caretaker, and it wasn't only just El Padrino, the Godfather. There was a number of other followers that felt this. They believed that they were bulletproof. They believed that they were invisible. They could turn themselves invisible, and they would not get caught. Watching, pretty much, watching the video of the actual the crime scene video, which is on a documentary I found on YouTube.
Ooh.
They can literally, they're talking, and it's the most open conversation about dead bodies I've ever heard. The guys are, yep, they're here, this is them here, they got hit with machetes. It's completely mental. So within 2 days, they had his location, and I don't know whether you've heard much about the Mexican police, but they don't do a lot of investigating.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yep, so Constanzo had a partner in crime called the Witch. Her name,
Yeah. She wasn't called like Sandra or anything like that. No.
her real name's Sarah. But
Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
Hey, Sarah the Witch.
Sarah Aldrete, the godmother, or the witch.
She weighs the same as a duck. For all the Monty Python fans. Burn the witch! Burn her! Well, she turned me into a newt. I got better. Sorry.
So basically, they were. She would assist El Padrino with all the rituals, as well as procuring people for the pot. With Palamaoba, the iron pot or clay pot is paramount to the rituals. For argument's sake, during animal sacrifice, if they wanted the pot to become stronger, they would add animal muscle to it. If they wanted it to be smarter, they'd add animal brains to it. If they wanted it to be younger, they would put young animals in the pot and cook it. These drug dealers believed that they'd taken their thing up to the next level and started using human sacrifice. Mark was, as I said to you before, was a medical student, and his brain was put into the pot, and that was his brain that was put into the pot.
Yeah, so they're like, well, I mean, they probably didn't know he was a medical. Well,
No,
they might have extracted that information from him.
Exactly right.
Yeah,
so
okay.
that's what they did. They would hunt out particular people for particular rituals. For example, I'm not going into too much detail, but they wanted youth in the pot, so they would hunt children to put into the pot. If they wanted muscles, obviously they used muscles to make the pot stronger. And further to that, when they found Mark's grave on his body, they found a coat hanger sticking out of the ground. And when they asked Seraphin, the caretaker, as to why there was a coat hanger hanging in the ground, it wasn't to hang clothes. They'd wound a wire around the spinal column of Mark and dragged it up, so when he finally decomposed, they could pull his spine out of the ground and turn it into a necklace.
Well, that's not cool.
No.
And it said after about 2 days, after burning the nanga, which is the iron pot, they found him in Mexico City. The Mexican federales went up and introduced themselves, and the investigation was cut pretty short when he was riddled with bullets.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about how the way they deal with things.
A little bit of street justice, but Sarah Aldrete, or the witch, the godmother, was charged with a number of the surviving followers for kidnapping and murder. I don't know what the results of their cases were, but they were charged with murder.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, very
I'm sure
similar.
death was punishment.
Indeed.
What about the caretaker?
Yeah, he got charged.
Yeah, okay.
All of them got charged.
Yeah.
But they thought they were bulletproof, which is the weird thing. So I'll go for his full name again. It's Adolfo de Jesus Constanzo, and his followers believed that they were bulletproof, could turn invisible, and believed that they could never get caught as drug dealers with the use of black magic and human sacrifice. But the reality of the situation, the only magic trick they really had was being a bullet sponge.
Hey!
Opposite of what they thought would happen.
Wow. And
Yeah.
Do we know the numbers of the group, like how many people believed in this?
Don't have followers, but when they've gone looking for bodies after the dust cleared, I think it was a total. I actually have the total number right here. The total number of the bodies found was 23 bodies in Matamoros and 46 bodies in Mexico City.
Fucking hell!
So 69 bodies.
That's a lot of people, and that's just not like regular killed people. Like, those people would have suffered.
100%. They were tortured.
Yeah.
Again, I have literally just glazed over the entire topic. There's a whole of other spin-off topics and talks about it with it. But obviously, if people are interested, I can deep dive into it later on. But
I would like to know how big this cult was.
Yeah.
We should do a bit more cultists on this one.
Yeah, I can do that next time.
Yeah.
I'll dig into it next time. I want to try and dabble into the Palo Mayorba a wee bit. And
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Which is black magic.
And Mr. Kilroy just went for a piss.
Didn't come back. They dragged him, kidnapped him in a van, and drove him out to Matamoros, where he was turned into human soup.
So, moral of the story is, if your mate's going for a piss, have his back.
Yeah. Or don't go to Mexico.
Well, I'm thinking it's nice, a place and places. So, wow, that's... Yeah. Jesus.
It's cray-cray in the worst way.
Wow. And that, 1989?
Yeah, 1989. He was found, I think it was 2 weeks later, after once all the dust settled and shit like that. So, yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, in theory, there's still people that believe and practice this.
Yep. He was Paleros, or the Palo Mayorba. I've probably butchered that, but Palo Mayorba priests it's still up and running in Mexico, Spain, and all the Caribbean countries.
It'd be interesting to know if this was the first and only case of human sacrifice. Because, I mean, they can still practice it because it's animals, usually.
Yeah.
I guess, depending on the country and the part of the country where it happened, for example, a rural part of a second or third world country, it's unlikely to be documented that it took place.
Exactly right.
You know, and that's probably why they got caught, because it was like right on the border. Whereas if they like practiced it way out California way,
well,
like way out in the sticks.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
To be fair,
they never would have known.
The only reason they found out about this is because they went looking for an American.
Well, the reason they got caught is Serafin, the caretaker, was found at a roadblock with
just bring back dead body bits.
a large amount of cannabis. He was found with a massive amount of cannabis. And when they showed him the picture of Mark, he said, "See." And so it was. He knew him.
Yeah. Oh, so maybe they were trying to strike a deal with him for the cannabis?
No, it's more of the fact that they had a short and curls. I suggest he probably would have been
better to explain himself.
Otherwise, he would have. Yeah, and they thought they were bulletproof. They thought they were going to get away with it.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So those people that were alive and got caught, they probably faced the gun anyway, didn't they?
Yeah,
or some kind of public execution.
Yeah,
well, not public, but execution.
I can find out for next time anyway and throw it up as a bit of an update.
Yeah. Let's find out as well what happened to Serafin's brother, Parafin. So there we have it, gentlemen. A cult in Mexico, PlayStation 5, and the Civil War of Cambodia.
Yeah. Bit of an eclectic mix.
Yeah, it is an eclectic mix. Unfortunately, my next cast topic is it's quite dark and it's quite, it's a bit of a downer as well. But it's educational, so it's something I never learned about until very recently. Same with the Cambodian Civil War and the genocide. So informative. Let's keep it that way. Yeah, because we're not all about jokes.
No,
mostly
we're about learning.
Yes, we're about knowledge.
I've learned a lot
and humour.
Talking to you guys.
Have you?
Yeah.
I mean, everything I read out was lies. It wasn't. I'm sorry to the people of Cambodia.
All right.
On that note, gentlemen of industry.
Yep.
Listeners galore. Thank you.